This will go on.
So do I pause if I hear this and then we redo?
Yeah, that would be great.
If the keyboard is an issue, I'm quite sure that is an issue. Hi, my name is Renyi. I am one of the co-founders of myBurgerLab. So a student messaged us on our PM on Facebook to ask for an opportunity to interview us for a school project. He wrote in at around 12 p.m. noon, and the first interaction that he had with us was a simple hi, and we hi back to him as we would with most customers, and he said, "I would like to do a project about you." All right. And our usual response when it comes to students writing project is that we will always prioritize customers PM first, and then at the end of the day when we have time we'll address students. When we were about to reply him at around 3 p.m., another message came in and said, "You are such a shit company." We were like, hang on, what's going on? My team was about to reply, but I saw the message and I said, you know what, just let me handle this. We get so many messages from students every other day and every other week to ask for opportunities for interviews, which we were obliged to everyone. This we wanted to make an example of. We screenshot that particular message and we put it out on social media. Now, in hindsight, I could have worded it better, but I thought, it was funny to just say, hey, slow news day or slow content day, roast him. And then that kind of snowballed into like a massive, there's one side that cites BurgerLab, and then there's another side that's like, no, BurgerLab, you're cyberbullying, you're condoning the cancel culture. But I said, you know what, I have nothing to hide. I have a reason to why I did what I did. So I stood out, I wrote a post to describe the thought that went through my head. And I wasn't trying to justify anything, but I was trying to say, hey, this is a brand that I love, and if unprovoked, you start calling my brand shit, I'm going to defend it. I believe that he was the instigator of bully, and anyone that is bullied should stand up for themselves. And there's no such thing as only the big can bully the small. The small can bully the big, because a lot of people said, you're such a big brand, why do you take notice? Why do you want to retaliate? Right? Just let it be. But if you don't, that means that he's just going to go through life doing what he does and thinking it's okay. In fact, we have called out, bad behavior before. And I still manage a majority of our social media, although I do have a team. I always believe that the founder should have a voice on the platform so that people know that there's still someone behind it, that originated it, that still cares about it. So I think on the majority, on the HQ level, my team trusts me in what I do. I've made a lot of good calls for the company for the most part. And while they were a little bit afraid, of the backlash, because the most worrisome thing is, what if the sales drop? Because at that time, we needed sales, right? What if there's a boycott, which is the biggest threat that one can make to any business? And my marketing manager was like, oh my God, she was going through nightmares. She was waking up with cold sweat in the middle of the night. In fact, because of that, and I'm ashamed to say this, we actually had a spike in sales in that 2 days because we were trending. But we had students who were working for us that felt uncomfortable, that they did address the issue. I did write to them and I said, hey, I'm sorry you feel this way, but I felt personally on my part, I explained why I did what I did. And I apologize if I made them feel uncomfortable or I misrepresented the brand for them. And they understood where I came from. Before one says whether they are right or wrong, you need to check within yourself, the values that you believe in, the culture that you practice, whether it aligns. And one thing that for us stood out was that while we have done so much for students, one of the things that we knew was that we never back down when anyone attacks us without provocation. So we have one rule within the store. If a customer is rude to us, we'll take it. Right? Customer is always right until they're not. And when they're not is when they attack us, either physically or verbally. If you start calling my mother, my father some name, right, we have the right to refuse service. I won't let you call not just me, but my brand and everyone else within the team that works so hard something as degrading as shit. If my story helps someone else learn from it or grow from it, then I have a moral obligation to do so. I think one has to search within their conscience and also within their company value and culture whether it is within them to go ahead and behave in a defensive manner. Where for us, we felt that we were defending our honor, we were defending every single one that works in the company.
If you were to meet the student who sent you that message, what would you say to that student?
So, disclaimer, my partner actually met up with him. He wasn't interested to meet up with me. Because we have 3 partners, one of my partner actually reached out to him through the school and they met up and he gave him, mentoring and counseling. What would I say to him? Never thought of that. Well, I would just ask how is he doing and get to know him as a person because I do not know him as a person. I only have a snapshot of that one moment where he presented himself as that character. An advice that I would give fellow businesses that find themselves in hot water when it comes to PR failures is to seek professional help if possible, but more importantly is to seek within yourself if you have the capacity to handle the situation, to own up to the mistake and fix the problem no matter how big the damage is.